Hi, Troy at the Full Setup here, back with another video today, and today I'm going to show you how to paint your graphics card, how to take it apart. Now you do take this at your own risk. Yours might not be the same step as mine. I've just basically tried to include enough little bits and bobs that you will run into, and how you can take the whole thing apart and paint it. Now the paint I'm using is called Plastidip, and it's like a rubber paint, which if you screw it up you can just peel it off. Now why would you want to paint a graphics card? You know, you can get cards in any colour that you want. Well, it is hard. Yeah, they do come in more colours now, and as you can see with all my stuff and anyone that's on the channel, I like everything in white and black, but it's still quite hard to get the exact model that you want in the colour that you want. Like, everything's geared up for gaming, isn't it? It's all in red. If you like the colour red, brilliant. If not, it's not so good, especially for AMD. Near enough 99% of AMD cards are red, I think. So yeah, I'm going to take you in for a closer look. Enough of me chatting, and I'm going to show you how to take the card apart, and then a little bit of painting as well. So some things that you are going to need. You're probably going to need sort of selections of screwdrivers and different bits and bobs. You are definitely going to need some thermal paste for when you reapply, and you're going to need obviously your paint, which I've got some Plastidip in white, because white's how I like to build now. Before you start this project, you really just want to assess the situation. Like, what are you doing? Like, have you got all your screwdrivers to hand? No, I probably haven't right now. Yeah, that will get me away. I can use that one. So you just need to assess the whole thing. I said this in my last video, and to be fair, I'm probably going to start saying it quite often. It's your 3 Ps. If you piss poor plan, you will get a piss poor project. And so I haven't piss poor planned. I've had a really good look at this card. And so you need to assess, like, here's all the screws on the back. What screws go into what? Where do they go into motherboards? So we know these 4 are going to take the heatsink off. But what do the rest of the screws do on the top? Well, they just go into this back plate. I've looked all the way around, and they do not go into anything else. So I don't need to take those screws off. So I only need to take those 4 off? No. Where you will also have some extra screws, and every card is different. See, there's 2 here on the IO shield, and then we have screws on the back of the IO shield here, and then we have these which I need to remove as well, like your little pins for your DVI cable. So now I know where I can start. So we're going to leave all these for now, and we're going to strictly start working on the IO shield. So I'm going to remove the these screws, put them to one side. Also, if your graphics card came with a cover to put over your PCI thing, probably best to put it back on before you do all this. But this one didn't, because I bought it second hand. I've just got some at the back here, so under the display, they're pretty much under all the display ports, and they're tiny little screws, so try not to use them. If you have like a little pot to put on them, if you've got like some sort of magnet, that will help. So I know most people just start unscrewing and then it goes really fast, but I like to use this time to give tips and tricks. That one's hard. And when you put all these screws back on, do not over tighten them. You want them finger tight. I can't stress that more often. You will break things, especially on the back here. Now, see, that's something that I didn't see from the assessment. There's little nuts and bolts on those top 2, so I need to find wherever that other bolt has gone. It's still in between. That one's in between the PCB and the back plate, so I'll be alright. But that one had one, see? That's a bit of piss poor planning there. Right, I need to get these off. Oh, that one's already coming off. So I took this off the other day. It was part of my preparation. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. The IO shield has just come straight off. I don't know if I'm going to paint the back of this as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I hate this when you've got all one colour and then you look and it's like, do you know what I mean? You've got like nice coloured PCI slots, or you can paint them and then you have this thing. So I'm going to paint up. I might just paint that. So, going to reassess the situation again. Are there any more screws going through to this heatsink that we can't see? Now there is this fan cable here, which I did find quite hard to try and finger get out the other day. So I'm going to... No, I'm not going to try and work it with pliers. I'm going to wait until I've got, because there's a bit of slack in here, I'm going to wait until I've got the heatsink off a bit, so I'm not going to pull the heatsink right off. That's how I'm going to get the fan off. So, I think we're ready for the big removal. Now, I know I said in another video I normally unscrew these like a little bit at a time, but because this is facing down on it and pushing the weight, it's not so much of a problem. When you've got small little bits screwed onto stuff with these springs, you want to sort of like slowly loosen them so you don't like cause tension on one corner and then it flips up and then you could damage what's here. But for this should be absolutely fine. If you would like these videos shorter, by the way, and you don't want to actually just see everything slowly, and you would like a rushed thing, which you end up messing up, oh, there we go, then please let me know. So, right, that's literally come straight off, which is nice. Got the paste. See how that just literally popped off, and I can now remove. I've got to try and get this fan off now. It's really stiff, this fan cable. And there we go. So the next step is you need to remove the plastic shroud. So again, it's just assess the situation. Now, because there's nothing electric here, I'm just going to sort of, you know, point out where there's some screws. So as you can see, we've got screws going in everywhere on the heatsink. Another one up in here, and then two that we get from the back there. But I'm just going to remove all this quickly, and then we're going to get to painting. Okay, you want to make sure you really take your time with this. I've tried to remove these, but they've gone a little bit weird. And just make sure it's all free from dust. Give the can a real good shake, and it's just literally light coats. I'm probably going to go 6 to 8 coats with this, most likely 6. The first coat needs to be really light. You don't want to start in the middle. You want to start here. And just nice, straight lines. That's perfect for a first coat, probably a little bit too much, but that's all you need. Right, so this is coat number 3, and I've just stood it on like a couple of ramekins because it was sort of looking like it was smudging around the sides. Now I leave about 15-20 minutes in between coats. You're supposed to leave about half an hour, but what I normally do is after the third coat is when I leave it for an hour before I start again. Start going on a little bit thicker now. Okay, so yeah, gonna leave that for an hour now. You can't really see here, but you can sort of see where the light's coming off it here. Now, I'm on to the 6th coat. Now, what happened was on coat 4, I went a little bit too heavy and I got some slight bubbling, so I've been going very, very light with my coat. So I think I'm probably going to take this up to about 9 or 10 coats. So I'm going to apply another 3 or 4 real light coats like I sort of did for the 1st and 2nd coat. And then hopefully it should be done. But overall, so far, it's looking quite nice. And you've got to remember, this is going to be in the case as well, so it is going to be quite forgiving for little blemishes and stuff. So I'm going to get 4 more coats and then we can get the whole thing put together. So I will have to apologise. Earlier in the video I talked about piss poor planning. Well, I planned really well and everything still went to shit. I broke my camera, right? Then I got this new camera which I don't really like, and I've had to add loads of light into it, and I haven't got it quite set up how I want it, just as a cheap to get me through for the next few months. So I'm having to record the audio separately, which I need my computer on to do that, which I need my only one graphics card for. So that's why you haven't seen a video of it going back together, because it would sound like shit. But it was quite easy to put back together, and I used a slight little dab of MX4 paste, which has got it a little bit cooler. But anyway, let's see the card. And as you can see, it's beautiful in white. I really like it. Could have done with giving it maybe an extra coat or 2. There are some bubbles on it, but inside the case it looks absolutely perfect. So yeah, I think this is an upgrade you should all try. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe.